Hi guys, my name is Lelasophia. I am an artist and fine jewelry designer. If you like contemporary fine jewelry, if you like luxury handbags, all things interiors, then I have some fun videos for you. You guys, oh my goodness. Okay, I am continuing my parted series of all of the breakdown of my favorite contemporary fine jewelry designers. And then I had this was my, next video on my list, and then we got blessed by Miss Kim Dunham. So this is going to be my general kind of really fun breakdowns of some of my favorite fine jewelry designers. If you haven't seen, if you're new here, this is like just a continual parts. I think this is like part 5 or 6 to be honest. So we're gonna go through 4 of my favorite contemporary fine jewelry designers, and because again, we've been blessed by Kim Dunham, who I've already gone over many times. Kim Dunham has just released a completely new website, a completely new collection. This is completely not sponsored. And so I just like, honestly, I was speechless, and we have to go through the entirety of it all today. So a truly fun video. First and foremost, if you guys are new here, thank you so much for tuning in. I can't wait to see you in all of my future videos. Make sure that you like this video, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram at lelasophia jewelry. I put out videos every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. And so I cannot wait to see you guys in the next one. You guys, okay, I have to start out with Kim Dunham because, as you guys know, like, I've talked about her for the 1.5 years that I've had my channel, and I've known about her for years, and I've had the absolute pleasure of not just knowing her in person, but also working with her. When I owned my store called Sapphire Home downtown in Soho, New York City, I had the absolute pleasure of representing her. We did like the tiniest little capsule collection of 4 different pieces, but for those of you guys who have never heard of Kim Dunham before, she is the most incredible, again, this is not sponsored at all. I hope you're okay with me doing this video, to be honest, but I just got so excited. Kim Dunham makes the most beautiful, in my opinion, the most beautiful heritage, true heirloom piece jewelry like no other. Truly, she is an artist like no other, and each and every piece has an entire soul behind it. I really, truly feel that way. Working with her was one of the highlights of my career so far, like I think perpetually will be one of my career highlights, I think, for the rest of my jewelry career. She is just an absolute icon, and so the 4 pieces that I got to represent and sell and, create my incredible client connections through, and I hope all you guys are loving your rings. It was a pure joy, a seller's joy, especially to be able to kind of, I don't even know, try to do you service and translate what it was that each one of these rings represented. So along the journey, Kim Dunham has primarily, I believe, again, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe Kim Dunham has primarily worked on, custom pieces. She's done little capsule collections here and there, which I am so blessed to have been a part of for, stores or multi-brand stores or little fun galleries. Honestly, again, what a blessing. But primarily, she's done pretty much custom pieces. And I've talked about this before, but she has a questionnaire. People often will get a ring of hers for a momentous occasion, for something, like a wedding or a graduation or a career change. I'd say, this is a bold statement, but I'm gonna go ahead and say that her jewelry, in my eyes, would be what I would recommend to everybody whenever there was like a momentous occasion or something in somebody's life. Any clients of mine in the past, I've always just thought it's so special. It's a true harkening back to like real, true custom signet ring making, but then even more special because she's just such a special human being. It really sounds like completely her #1 fan, but I am just, especially since I've gone on to design for my own line, I've really, truly, like, Kim Dunham has been a massive, I don't even know. It's like not even, inspiration is still not strong enough of a word. She's a true icon in our industry, in my world, especially as someone who wants to make sure that each and every piece from my own line has meaning behind it. I hope you can understand, see that in where I gain my inspiration from. So Kim Dunham's work has just always been, always will be my top 2, 3 favorite designers of all time. Maybe she's my favorite, but I don't even know. But after that completely, gushy intro, we were blessed, and I am still looking at the stories that, she's reposting and people who went to the event are reposting, but Kim Dunham has now launched her own official website. If you guys have seen before, she's always had a beautiful website, but it's always been, you know, contact. It's always been a very, very intimate process. And so to have an entire collection or collections on a website, even just to be viewed, oh my god, it is music to my ears. It is just absolutely so exciting. And so the little kind of rundown, because this literally just happened a couple days ago, so we all need to sit with it, we all need to digest, but I had to first of all just like announce that. Again, I don't know, just I got so excited. And it just looks, it's so authentic to her. Each and every piece is so beautiful. There's a slight deviation from her very custom work, which I still think is really special. So I don't know if some of that will be released in the future or if that will really just always remain as such a personal kind of, you know, custom side to her work. That either way is really beautiful. And the collections that are available are so beautifully thought out and designed, and also so her, and you can see the ancient inspiration behind her. You guys know clearly, you know, one of my favorite elements of us little, you know, jewelry designers over here is the ancient inspiration behind our pieces, because it's also different and it's also meaningful, and it really nods to the truth, which is that jewelry has been used as like totems, as really beautiful personal items, to put it very colloquially, for tens of thousands of years. This is possibly hundreds of thousands of years, just saying, you know, the oldest piece of jewelry that has been found. I'm sure there's, you know, still older, waiting to be dug up in the earth somewhere, but the oldest piece of jewelry was found in Morocco like 150,000 years ago. So, you know, I like to hopefully honor that in my own Moroccan heritage for my own line. And it's just, I'm a sucker for ancient inspired pieces. And yet Kim Dunham always adds a little bit of, there's like an esoteric element to her pieces. The spiral elements are so gorgeous. That bangle is going to be absolutely stunning on all of the people that purchase it. Oh my goodness. And the thing that I have to talk about the most, because of course we know Kim Dunham for rings, or that's how I know Kim Dunham, for her gorgeous, gorgeous rings, the medallions. I cannot contain my excitement because the medallions are just so yummy. They're just so yummy. Again, you know, we'll digest this more, we'll talk about it more, but I had to just like put this in this little video as the first primary, you know, primary part, because I have, like, she's done beautiful custom medallions before in the past. If you haven't followed her Instagram, my gosh, the Instagram is drool worthy, every single post. And yet I haven't, you know, it's like you kind of always want more medallions. I know, again, everybody knows her for her rings, but every time I see her own little stack, every time I see a client with them, or one of those really beautiful little, you know, vignetted out photos, it's kind of so amazing. So to have for the first time collections available to view on her website is just really exciting and really special. And, you know, like me, these are the things that excite me in life. Okay, after that very, again, gushy intro, I'm aware I'm an emotionally charged human being, you know, even though I'm a Virgo. These are the things that I get very excited about. After that, you know, excited intro, first thing that I had to talk about, I shall go back into my regular format for these videos. And so again, this is based off of my very first YouTube video where I went over 20 of my favorite contemporary fine jewelry designers. Again, for anybody who's new, I categorize these as essentially any current designer. These are designers who have had their lines for literally decades, or recently. I'm a little baby in this industry. My line just turned 4 years old. So essentially anything but the bigger Cartier, Van Cleef, Tiffany, Hermes, you know, the more like, I guess those are heritage level brands. So we're talking, you know, true low quantity, high, very, very high quality pieces that either are really made to order or, again, very, very small batched lines. And so this is my little area of expertise in the fine jewelry industry, my favorite contemporary fine jewelry designers. And again, I've gone down a lot already. I've gone down to a couple dozen already. And so I figured this one is a kind of a fun little mix. Some of these designers are much more well known to kind of, you know, diversify it, because I definitely sometimes talk about designers who, you know, it's very, very niche, which I love so much. So to start out with, the designer that I've noticed is like having a third, fourth, I don't even know, is having a new wave, because Spinelli Kilcollin has had so many like waves of popularity, and I think they're having another right now. I've seen a lot more creators, especially here on YouTube, start purchasing Spinelli for the first time, which is really, really cool. Spinelli is such, oh my goodness. I think Spinelli can definitely start to be categorized as one of the most well-known fine jewelry designers of our time. That sounds so dramatic, but it's really true. The cool thing about Spinelli is how wildly diverse all of the collections are. You know, if you think about it up close, the Spinelli rings especially, because that's really, you know, their bread and butter. I will definitely talk about the other really cool categories that they do. But like Spinelli rings, when you think about it, are so simple. And what a cool thing, because we know, especially someone like me, I'm not the best at simplifying things. My brain is wired in a really weird way. Spinelli rings are so incredibly simple, and then all it is rings stacked on top of rings stacked on top of rings, but rings connected with little tiny rings so that it's all one piece. So if you were to just hold it by one tiny little ring, it would kind of drip down. And they're meant to either be folded and stacked on one finger, or you can, you know, stack them two on one finger and one on another, all four fingers or whatnot. They go from anywhere from, you know, you can buy a singular Spinelli ring, which is absolutely beautiful, and you can stack them up as high as they'll go. It is just so genius, to be honest. It's such a genius concept, because again, there's something so simple about it, yet there's something really intimate and custom about it, because each one of the color combinations, gold combinations, they use silver, and they also do diamonds in silver, which is really cool. Not every designer does that. And even pearls, which I love the pearl. I think I might be a pearl versus diamond girl. Is that like sacrilegious? I don't even know. I've always never really been a diamond girl, and I kind of low-key, I might be going into a pearl era. I really love pearls. Anyways, I've been dreaming about a Spinelli ring with pearls on it. Like, it's such a, it is a conceptual, you know, a conceptual artist's dream mixed with a actually digestible, mainstream worthy concept. And I know that was very redundant, but it's really true. Spinelli is a actual genius, and I love the hoops and I love the little medallions, but you have to, you know, you have to kind of bow down. I am a Virgo, but that Leo ring, yeah, that Leo ring has lived rent-free in my brain for like 7 years. I bought my brother a Spinelli ring 5 years ago. I think he was turning 20. I don't even know, but I don't know what came over me to be that ridiculous. And I treated my brother to a Spinelli ring, which I still love so much. And again, there's something for everybody because of how many metal colors and types they mix together and play around with. Spinelli Kilcollin is having a moment. They've been here to stay for a very long time. I think they've proved that. Another designer who is, oh my goodness, so rightfully so. I talked about them so much last year because they were newer to Bayer. This designer has been having a moment, and I think it is one of the most well-deserved like jewelry designer moments I think I've ever seen to Bayer. Again, it's like, it's such a simple idea, but not really, and it's conceptual, and it's so beautiful, and it's kind of streamlined, and yet it will look so perfect with any of the bigger house, you know, heritage house jewelry designs. To Bayer is one of those that the second I saw it, I actually considered a piece for my 30th birthday, and then I went handbag over jewelry. But, you know, like, had I gone jewelry, I think I would have picked out a to Bayer piece because it is one of the most stunning lines I've ever seen. And again, the consistency, the fact that they've really stuck with, they're really, you know, now I think it's like a very recognizable design of theirs where it's a circle, but then with two kind of the ends kind of sticking out and overlapping each other. I'm positive there's a better way of describing that. It It is so gorgeous to see something again like that's consistent throughout the entire line. And then the way that they, again, as someone who just said I'm not even a diamond gal, with Tabayer I could be, because the way that they place their diamonds is so kind of unexpected that it makes me want every single item. And as I just said, I really think, like, I've seen celebrities in their pieces. I've seen them pop up on so many more retail sites. Like, it's so, I think, so well deserved. Would I still want a Tabayer piece? Yes, absolutely. I think especially if you have, you know, a Cartier stack or an Hermes stack or a really cool Tiffany stack or any of the combination of all of those, Tabayer is genius because you could so seamlessly, could you imagine, oh, I've probably said this about 18 times, but could you imagine how good one of the Tabayer bangles would look next to a Cartier Juste un Clos because of the openness? It like kind of mimics it, but not really. Oh my goodness, if you can't already tell, I'm not describing this very well because the emotions are coming out, and I'm obsessed. I'm absolutely obsessed with and in love with all things Tabayer. And to go into my little weird bread and butter, you know, corner of the industry, I have again spoken about this designer many, many times, but to go a little bit more in depth and also to get so excited about a new line that they're releasing. Elhanati, more specifically Orit Elhanati, but I think they just use Elhanati in the title of the line. When I tell you, it's like being as blessed as I have been for the last 10, 11 years to play around with and work with so many different jewelry designers, very up close and personal. It kind of became a rare thing that I was like stopped in my own tracks. One of my dear best friends got a ring from Elhanati. I nearly fainted because of how beautiful this ring is. The rock collection I've talked about at least 10 times on my channel. That would also be something like, you know, in the future, if any partner of mine wants to ever treat me to something, or somebody wants to, you know, drop by a little gift at my doorstep, I would so happily take that. The rock collection was probably like one of the main pieces in the last 10 years that stopped me dead in my tracks. I had to immediately research all things Elhanati. If you don't know, Denmark is home to some of the most incredible contemporary fine jewelry designers of all time. It is iconic. I would literally faint if I ever got one of my pieces in a, you know, one of those incredible, very aesthetically pleasing, just beautiful, ethereal fine jewelry stores in Denmark. You know, trust me, it's a dream of mine. And Elhanati is, I think we all know her to be one of the most conceptual, beautiful, creative, unique designers. And the rock collection, I would be on the floor crying if I ever got one of those rings. She would look real good right here. Anyways, I was not even prepared. Every single designer at one point or another, hint, hint, will always, not always, again, of course, you know, there are some designers who don't partake, but as I just mentioned for Spinelli, most designers at some point during, you know, the line career, maybe even multiple times, will do a Zodiac collection. I was not prepared. I was ill prepared for the level of obsessed, and Elhanati has not even released it yet, but you don't even understand how closely I'm following since I saw that one post showing just little hints. I think it was even just one of the rings of their new Zodiac collection that I think is releasing in the fall. If you guys don't know, September is a big, you know, market week. We have a couple different market weeks for, you know, for in the jewelry industry, and not everybody follows them, which I really love. I kind of go in between, but you know, June and September are real big times in our industry. You're not even prepared for like, I think that these are me to T, and this is my version of a Zodiac collection. I think it is the most stunning, and again, all I've seen is like black and white, you know, kind of random little images because I'm sure they don't want to give too much away. I am literally going to be waiting on pins and needles. I haven't been this excited since Foundry launched their Elements line, because that too, I was like, oh my goodness. Or then the most recently I've been this excited is when Darius Jewels released their Zodiac collection, because You know, again, if any future, I'm just putting this out into the universe, if my future husband, wants to put the scorpion ring from Darius Jewels, a zodiac ring or necklace from Elhanati, and then also the rock ring from Elhanati, 10-year anniversary, don't even have a partner yet, and yet those 3 pieces, I'm just, bloop, just get placed right here because, wish list ideas. That is ridiculous. Okay. Let me calm down in this video. See, I just get really excited. Okay, let me be serious now. The last designer for today's video, again, this is kind of just a forever ongoing series, Vram. Oh, again, I have talked about their pieces so many times. I've been able to try them on. They're at Goop in New York City. I'm sure they're at Goop in California or wherever your local Goop store is. Vram is, if you know, you know. They're one of the coolest, again, very conceptual, very architectural jewelry, designs, I think, in our industry. It's very much so me because, as we can tell, forever and always, I'm a gold girl. I just said this to my friend, so I just want everybody to know, that gold is not earthly. Like, gold is not from this earth. Gold is not grown on the earth. It comes to this earth / has come to this earth from meteorites. Like, gold is one of the coolest, most ethereal, literally not of this earth metals. And so I'm just saying, I think that's the coolest fact because Moon was like, for 30 whole minutes, was like, I just can't believe that. Now I need to go buy gold. Like, gold, I think, is one of the coolest metals, and it's been used. I didn't mean to talk about this in this video. Gold has just truly been used and praised energetically for literally tens of thousands of years. And so a line like Vram, who just literally makes the most chunky, this is a line that they were not afraid to say, ring up all the gold, we're gonna take it all. Not afraid to use the chunkiest, most buttery, yummy, gigantic molds of gold in their items, and hats off to them. I love that it's so abstract, and yet this is the really cool thing about all these designers, but especially Vram, because there are motifs, yes, but it's so conceptual, and yet I know a Vram piece when I see it. If I see a random lady on the Upper East Side wearing a Vram, I know that it's Vram, because that, what a cool concept to have something that be so organic and not, I don't know, there's no recognizable, again, kind of repetitive motif or way that things are cut or anything. And yet, by the chunk level, by the wave-like design, and just by the weight of that piece, the substantial weight of that piece, I can immediately tell when a piece is by Vram. Even if they're small, they still add ways to make them bulbous and beautiful, and there you go. Here's my very chaotic way of describing jewelry in 5 different occasions. Vram is so amazing, as are all of these designers on this list. Oh my goodness. You better be going straight to the Kim Dunham website now, okay? I love you guys so much. I will see you in my next video. Thank you as always for watching. Bye, guys.